The next episode of Raising the Bar Live, where we talk about all things employee benefits. I think employee benefits management falls into three categories, and surprisingly, they all start with P. People, because last I checked, we're still taking care of the humans, right? Profit. Last I checked, we also have to take care of our budgets and make sure they're working efficiently, and program management. And at its core, running an employee benefits plan is really program management. And as we move forward, you're going to hear me talk about things more in relation to those three categories. Are we talking about things that impact people, profit, or program management? Today, and for most of the month of March, we're going to get into the weeds a little bit of program management. I've heard a lot lately. I hear it from our clients. I hear it from people we talk to. I hear it from carriers about how to manage a program effectively and what that takes, what it doesn't take, and how to make it work for you. So today we are going to talk about something I've been hearing a lot more about lately, or people have been asking me a lot more about lately: direct contracts. Direct contracts are when you work with a provider directly in order to make sure that you, the employer, are paying a fair price for care, that the provider is receiving a fair price for care. And that is really important. If we want a nice, healthy ecosystem for healthcare for regular human beings, then we need to make sure that providers are paid fairly and quickly. And direct contracts are one way to do that. Typically, direct contracts are for more complicated things: MRIs, CAT scans, outpatient procedures, inpatient procedures, generally things that do not happen in the doctor's office, typically things that don't happen in the primary physician's office or in a specialist office. So dermatology things typically are not covered by a direct contract, but an endoscopy and a colonoscopy would be. So I hope that makes sense. You know, you can reach out if you have any questions. Just drop them below if you do. So I'm going to give you 10 questions to be asking about a direct contract. These are the questions that we ask of our vendor partners to make sure that we've got all the bases covered. So there's 10. I'm going to run through them pretty quickly. Let me know if you have any questions. So what providers and services are included in the contract? Does it include anesthesia? It absolutely should. Does it include any pathology needs, any radiology needs, any odd thing that is happening when a service is being performed? Are there any out-of-network providers or services that are not covered under the contract? Pathology, number one item not covered under the contract, because really you can't necessarily know what that is before the service is performed. How will the cost of services be determined? What is the basis for payment? In my opinion, the provider facility should be giving you a price that works for their structure and their profit margin. And then your TPA vendor partner should be navigating that price through a Medicare reimbursement model. I know that's a little complicated, but that happens outside of your office. Are there any financial incentives or penalties built into the contract to encourage high quality, cost-effective care? This is probably the first question that you should ask. You don't want the new guy who's never performed a surgery on his own doing your direct contract, and you don't want the guy who is not really wanting to do surgeries and still working doing the surgery either. You want a high quality provider that performs the service that you need on a regular basis. Those are the folks that know what to look out for. They know how to be quick. They typically have teams that they work with, so everybody works well together. They know what problems to be look out for, and they don't want to see you again. Will participating in the contract affect my ability to see other providers or access other services? Ask this question. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depends on the contract and what the service is. Will the process for resolving disputes or appealing coverage? What is the process for resolving disputes or appealing coverage decisions? Yes, you need this too. How will the contract be evaluated and potentially modified over time? These are pretty stable. Every once in a while, you'll see a price increase or a price change, but this should be a pretty stable part of your plan. How will this affect my premium or cost sharing on the insurance plan? This is a question for employees. In our organization, when an employee uses a direct contract, typically the member responsibility is waived. That could be as small as a couple $100. It could be as large as a few $1,000s. Definitely, employees should ask that question. And as the employer, I hope that you offer those services at 100%. Typically, the savings are so large that it is in your best interest to do so. And 10, how will the contract impact my existing coverage? So if you're the employer, you want to know how this affects your claim. So if you're fully insured, there's no need for a direct contract. There's no benefit to you. It's just extra expense. If you are partially self-insured, and really if you're an employer of under about 2,500 or 3,500 lives, you're always partially insured. You always have protection for the large claims. So you want to know how the direct contract impacts you. So the insurance answer to that is it helps your ag run a little bit further, meaning you get more bang for your stop loss buck. It also means that you have less spec hits, and these to keep your insurance premium down, because you still have an insurance premium and stop loss or reinsurance coverage. The human or lay person answer to that is your dollars go further. You simply do not spend as many. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, reach out and let me know. Have a great day.